Then there is the inequality that is not created by government intervention, but which arises naturally from free men acting in free markets. This inequality is not artificially created, and so the burden of proof is on the accuser to identify how natural inequality is evidence of wrongdoing. If there is no wrongdoing, coercive redistribution by the state should be treated as unjustified. To argue otherwise is to say that I have a right to the fruits of your labor simply because I earn less. This justification would lead to a society that legally enforces perfect income equality, a horrendous idea as mentioned earlier. To play devil's advocate, I'll offer up what I think some people may believe is evidence of wrongdoing. I'm going to try not to strawman here, but it may come across that way simply due to the absence of forward thinking in the redistributionist position. Number 1. The rich have an ethical obligation to give to the poor. Since income inequality exists, it means the rich did not give enough to the poor, and thus committed a moral wrong to be corrected by government redistribution. An obvious issue with this argument is that the first premise is contested. Does the individual with a higher income, because his job has worse working conditions, have an obligation to give money to the individuals who work in better conditions but for less pay? What if the individual with the higher income actually worked for the same wage, but just worked more hours? Is he still obligated to give his income to the part-timer? Okay, not in those cases, you may say, but what about the kid who inherited his wealth and is just earning interest on the capital while he sits poolside? Surely he isn't benefiting the economy more than the plumber, electrician, or nurse, right? While I would certainly prefer the kid not rest on his father's laurels, the reality is that the ability for people to earn high income simply from interest on investments is actually profoundly beneficial to the economy, since it incentivizes savings, leading to capital investment. If all investment income were redistributed, then no one would invest, which means people would either consume more or simply hold savings for a rainy day without actually investing them to earn interest. Either way, there would be a reduction in capital formation, which is bad for the economy. And if you significantly taxed inheritance, you likewise incentivize consumption by the elderly as opposed to savings and investment. So as much as we both may hate, for different reasons, seeing 23-year-old trust fund kids sitting poolside at 1 p.m. on a Tuesday, we'll have to grin and bear it for prosperity's sake.